now. One of the first responders when the call went out Wednesday night. Chief Warren Jones was out there and here in Evans. And Chief, first of all, this rain, are you concerned about it?
Well, we haven't got any reports that this rain that we're having now is going to give us any kind of flooding problems, but certainly it's going to make it more difficult for our recovery operations, and certainly the impact it has on the residents that are out of their homes now and trying to clean up. It's going to make it more difficult.
What's the state of things right now in Evans?
Right now, we've recovered pretty well for most of the city. We still have about 1,000 people out of their homes now, mostly mobile homes and a couple of mobile home parks, as well as about 60 single-family dwellings. And a lot of them have found housing here in the community in Greeley-Evans, in hotels and apartments. But we still have, I believe, there were about 60 people in the shelter last night, and we're more than a week out from this, so that we're concerned about that.
As this happened, and you had a levee break.
That's correct.
Well, that must have been a pretty scary moment.
That was. We had our firefighters and obviously our police officers, as well as water rescue teams from another couple of jurisdictions. Greeley City, Greeley right up the road here was very good to help us. And when that levee broke, it did push a kind of a rush of water through the mobile home park, and I think that's when we got most of the damage.
You know, you were here, you fought and dealt with the flooding in Fort Collins in, what was it, 97?
97,
How does
correct.
this compare?
I would say this is as far as very similar as far as effects, especially on the mobile home parks. I think in the Fort Collins flood we had a more intense rush of water for a shorter period of time. I think we had a longer duration incident here than we had in Fort Collins at that time.
You know, I look around, I can't even, how do you begin the rebuild? How do you prioritize what gets done, what roads get fixed? How does that work?
Well, actually, we do have a priority system for that, prioritization system, and we've been working with an incident management team from the state out of the southwest part of the state for the last week, and we actually went through a prioritization process. The first thing we had to do was get that levee fixed, and we were able to get that levee plugged in less than a week, so we're very happy with that. And the next thing was is to get our wastewater sewer plant back online.
Really quickly, before I let you go, Craig Fugate, FEMA's coming in. Well, if you could talk to him, what would you tell him you need?
I would tell him that we need housing assistance for the folks that are still out. We're going to need a lot of assistance to repair these kinds of areas. Our water treatment plant, wastewater treatment plant is going to need a lot of work in the future. So we have a lot of infrastructure that we're going to have to deal with. And in Weld County here, we have a lot of road damage. We have entire hunks of interstate highways out that are a big problem.
Chief Jones, thank you so much.
You bet.
We'll continue with our coverage after your local one.